This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Kansas City. Delighted to be joined by Hannah Rankin, who challenges Clarissa Shields this weekend for some of the marbles, shall we say?
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Nearly all of them.
Nearly all of them. First of all, how have you found Kansas?
I mean, it's the middle of nowhere, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I got here and it was like a foot of snow, so that was a bit of a surprise as well. And now it's sunny again, so I'm not really sure what's going on. We might get stuck here forever. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, for people obviously who are not here, which is the majority of the world, we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's like half an hour away from anywhere.
Civilization.
Civilization, absolutely, yeah. So Kansas has been good. Obviously, I'm assuming you haven't been here before as well.
No, no, it's not been on my holiday list of places to go, you know.
No, absolutely. So obviously you had the public workout yesterday, and Clarissa Shields.
She was surprised I turned up.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't really pick up on this, but in the UK when we have public workouts, it's not always done, but it's not uncommon for boxers to kind of watch their opponents to see if they can pick. You don't really gauge much from a public workout, but
it's just good to watch and be there and see what's going on, you know, see how they're looking, see how they're feeling. I'm quite surprised that she was surprised I was there. I mean, there's not much else going on here. What else am I going to do for the evening? I might as well go and watch her in the ring,
I think her words were she found it weird, but maybe I could have picked up on that. But regardless, she had quite a bit to say yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I know. I think my favourite thing is I talk too much. I mean, coming from her, I'm impressed. You know, like she's on social media constantly. She never stops talking, right? And actually, this fight came about because she said she was going to knock me out for being Christina Hamer's training partner and supporting her in that potential fight that was going to happen just about 6 months ago. I was like, oh, okay. Hi there. Nice to meet you. It came about because of that. And then since then, we've now got to the fight and I'm ready to go. So I didn't think she was expecting that to happen. Definitely not. But I think all the stuff I've said on social media is just facts. You know, I don't trash talk. She also said that women don't sell their fights enough. Women don't talk enough on social media. We should be more like the guys. You know, sell ourselves more. Trash talk. And I'm like, but now she's complaining I talk too much. What does she want from me? You know, like I think it's a bit hypocritical, to be perfectly honest. Also, you know, I think it's the first time she's had an opponent that actually talks back to her, gives her a little bit of her own medicine. You know, and I didn't think she's expecting that. So, I think it's been an experience for her.
Do you know what? From this side of it, it was quite an experience to interview a woman who does trash talk as much as Clarissa, because, you know, we're talking about the likes of Katie Taylor, Nicola Adams. These girls are in that kind of way a little bit reserved, and they know they're kind of a little bit reserved. But it was, I don't know, a little bit refreshing, a little bit surprising, but, you know, because her opening statement basically was to me that she was going to, mind my language, fuck you up. So, you know.
Yeah, I know, I've heard it all before.
Yeah.
It was nothing new to me. She's been going on about it for a while now. Like I said, when I responded to her tweet that she was going to knock me out, you know, she's never knocked anybody out, right? She's also got one more TKO on her record than me, right? And I think she was down in her last fight. So I think this is like strong words coming from her. It's just facts. You know, I'm not going to be around the bush. I'm just telling them the facts. You know, that's my response to her. You're not going to knock me out. I'm going to knock you out on Saturday night. That's what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, look, you know, you don't need kind of people to tell you what a tall order this is. Obviously you know the position you're in, and you've had your kind of stint at challenging for the world title against Alicia before.
Yeah.
So how are you going to use that to your advantage this week?
I mean, obviously, you can't buy experience. There's no sort of substitute for it. So I've been doing the full 10 rounds for the last world title shot. That's all in the bank. And then before that, I did the 10 rounds for my WBC silver title as well. You know, so I've had experience. I've done the 10 rounds championship distance. Also, you know, that last fight was at super middleweight. This one's at middleweight. So I'm coming back down closer towards my original weight category, which is super welter. So, but for this one, I'm feeling big, I'm feeling strong. We've nailed the conditioning. I feel like proper filling out middleweight now. So I think we're going to be quite evenly matched in there size-wise. So yeah, no, I mean, experience of being under the pressure of fighting for a world title in my last one, it's all stuff that I've taken into the bank and stuff I've learned from that. I'm a developing fighter. This is going to be my 8th professional fight. I didn't have a massive amateur career or an Olympic career like Clarissa, so I haven't got like endless fights that I've had. You know, but I've had some white collar fights and I'm learning on the job, and every time you see me get in the ring it's a different person, so you know, she's not going to know what to expect.
I mean, looking through your backstory,
Yeah.
not necessarily in boxing, but just your backstory in general, it's quite astonishing that you kind of found yourself in boxing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously well publicised that you've got a musical family,
Yeah.
and a musical background yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how does that even work, from the orchestra to wanting to punch people in the mouth?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to do taekwondo. I used to compete with my sister as well. And then when I got older, I stopped doing combat sports because I got into music and obviously taking care of my hands and all that sort of stuff. And then when I was in my undergrad in Glasgow, I decided to get back into Thai boxing for fitness because I love martial arts. I like the kind of discipline of it. It actually fits really well with music. I'm used to practicing, you know, 6 hours a day, that's standard. So, you know, in orchestra, in rehearsals, everything like that. So like finding something which is really disciplined, like my martial arts, and you're always constantly learning, really appealed to me. So I did some Thai boxing for a bit. And then, like, when I moved to London to do my masters, I started doing boxing. I met my coach, Noel Callan, and I met Derek Williams when I was there, and I kind of fell in love with the sport. And actually at the time, my mum got sick. She got diagnosed with cancer. And for me, my kind of like, you know, break or my release was like to go to the gym and punch the bags for a bit, work on the pads. You know, I could switch off, and my dad encouraged that. You know, he's like, you need to go out there and have some time out. I think boxing is something that really helped me get through all of that, and when she passed away, helped me to get through the grieving, because it was a way of switching off and like working myself to the limit where I was so tired I couldn't think about anything else, you know. So for me, boxing, yeah, it really helped me, and it's a sport that I really love. You can never stop learning. There's always something new to do. So yeah, you know, it's a good way to get a little bit of anger and aggression out as well. So I think people think I'm quite a calm person, but it's usually the calm ones you've got to watch out for.
It's really a good time to be a woman in boxing at the moment, isn't it? Because obviously over the last 2 years it's kind of really come to the surface, especially back home.
Yeah, definitely.
And more TV exposure,
Fantastic,
which has been key to kind of getting out to the mainstream
I think it's
audience.
been a massively important part of it. Katie Taylor's really helped drive the sport. It's amazing to see what she's been doing for women in the sport, and I think it's helped to kickstart it, you know, get more people involved and more people are aware of, like, women can box. Women are great to watch as well, you know, it's just as aggressive and just as exciting to watch as the guys, and actually getting that airtime allows us to, you know, be seen and get people to like form fan bases and start to actually follow us, and yeah, helps you to build a career as a sports person as well. So
I mean, some people suggest it's still, women in boxing are still fighting a losing battle amongst some, because it doesn't matter what heights it gets to, there's some people that still won't accept women fighting, and there is always going to be a case of that, isn't
yeah, I think that's always going to be the case, and you can't convince everybody to like what you do. It's like I will always say, you can't make people like something. You know, you can't tell people to do something, because as soon as you tell somebody to do something, they're like, nah, fuck that, I'm not going to do it. You know, it's just not going to happen. So I think, you know, as what I try to do with my fights is that, you know, every time I have a fight, I go and see like my friends and family, and obviously people in the audience as well. And people come up to me like, "Oh, I actually really enjoyed your fight. I thought about this. I like this." And you know, even if like one or two of the older guys come and chat to me about it, you know, I've had 2 more people who are slightly interested in the fight, and we'll slowly change kind of people's perceptions of it, slowly.
Yeah, no, I think especially over the last 2 or 3 years, like I said, I'm more referring to back home. The scene here in America, they've had kind of big stars, women boxing stars on huge cards before in the past, but it's starting to happen obviously more back home, and I'm assuming that will continue to happen. But you're not going to convince everybody, but if you're convincing, like I said, a person a day, for example,
it's more than there was before.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is the instrument that you're really good at?
I play the bassoon. It's like a bass instrument for the woodwind section of the orchestra. It's quite big, a bit bigger than the clarinet, and I used to play the flute when I was younger, and then I transferred to the bassoon. I fell in love with that, and I've got my undergraduate in that and my masters, so yeah, that's what I do most of the time.
I'm trying to think of what a bassoon looks like.
It's kind of like, it's really tall. It's made of like, it's wood. It's got silver keys on it and a silver bit that comes out and you blow down it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something most people come across regularly in day-to-day life.
No, I don't think I have.
No.
I think my Yamaha keyboard was as much as I was musically, not very gifted at that, but you know. But are you kind of, because I was reading as also like this week that you haven't kind of shut out that part of your life. You still do that part of your life, and if someone wanted to kind of acquire you for an orchestra or whatever, then
they
will
just
do that.
they phone the diary service. So like when I'm not boxing and fitting my training around it, I'm teaching kids in various schools, do music theory. I've got private students on the bassoon and the flute. And because I've still got my rent to pay at the end of the day, and it's my job that I love. And if an orchestra phones up and they need a bassoonist and phone diary service and I'm free, I'll take it. It's quite an exciting thing to do because you rehearse in the afternoon like 2 to 5, and then you play the concert at 7:30. So you've got like 3 hours. Get it right. Get the notes right. Go. So you're under pressure all the time, and I think it's actually set me up really well for boxing because the adrenaline of being like in the moment and it all having to go well, is kind of the same as being like on the red button. If you're on the radio, you can't get it wrong. You've got one chance. So, it's helped me deal with that, definitely, for sure.
So, I'm going to try to use the terms. I'm just going to term it how I would term it. So you're like orchestra team mates.
Yeah.
Is that the right term?
I'd probably say like my orchestral people that I play with, my mates, my musician friends, yeah.
Your musician friends. What do they think about you boxing?
So like obviously initially when I first started, they were like, oh, you got to take care of your hands, take care of your mouth, because you get injured or damaged, you can't play. And I was like, yeah, don't worry, my team know about this. And like Noel has always wrapped my hands like fight wraps, so I have them like change them every week basically. So I have extra padding and stuff to take care of my hands. But then after that, they find it really interesting because it's kind of like being at the top level as a musician is the same as being at the top end of a sport. It's lots of dedication, lots of practice, and they really like it and they like the discipline and yeah, they're really supportive actually. So it's been really nice.
Have many of them come to watch your fights?
A couple of my mates have come to watch it. Yeah, they've been there and they're like, we thought we'd be like really nervous for you and thinking it's quite brutal and stuff, and then we get in there, we're just like shouting for you, get really involved. So actually it was great. They really enjoyed it, but it's a different audience to being like on stage as a musician. If I was playing a concert somewhere, I'd never have someone in the audience going, punch your head in, like you wouldn't just, no one says anything. They're very quiet, chilled out. Whereas, in boxing, they're loud, they're vocal, everyone's got something to say. So yeah, it's a different world, but it's pretty much the same. You're just performing one way or the other. So
it's interesting that you talk about you have other jobs in order to pay bills, because that's the reality of the situation girls like you are in. I mean, when we look at girls like Katie Taylor and Nicola Adams, but then beneath that, I'm talking about from a financial point of view, the majority of girls, I mean, we've heard about Stacey Copeland, that, she does 1,000,001 things as well. So this is the reality of it. Yeah,
exactly. I don't have a promoter. And for me to get to this position has been my team, support from my team and my coach and my family. It's been my own personal life savings, and constant work. I'm always doing some job or other, and if I had all the time in the world to train, I don't know where I'd be, but you have to make time for it if you want to get somewhere, but you still need to pay your rent, you need to pay your bills and living costs and things like that. So it's just the hard case of it. And also when you're on ticket deals and stuff, you're selling tickets, I've not really earned that much money. Like in probably my last fight with Napoleon, that was probably my first sort of bigger paycheck. But before that, I haven't really earned any money in boxing.
You're talking about world titles here as well.
Yeah, no, we don't earn anywhere the same as the guys. Just going to put that out there. We do not earn what the guys do. If Anthony Joshua was fighting for these 3 titles, it'd be a whole other ball game. Even Golovkin or something, 3 world titles. It'd be insane, but it's just not the same for the women, and that is slowly starting to change. The money is starting to get more and more, but as we get that platform to showcase what we can do, then that will rise and it'll get promoted further. And massive props to Eddie for putting us on as the co-main event for this. It's amazing, and a chance to really shine basically, and hopefully slowly raise it up and get paid a bit more. And the girls coming after will hopefully get a bit more.
Yeah, because you're kind of, what you're doing now is you're doing the work for the next generation of women coming through.
Definitely, I feel that, and it's great. It's an amazing feeling to be part of that. That's like making history, you know.
Yeah.
You're starting off history, and things are, you know, all the people who come before me, like Jane Couch and everything like that. They started everything, and we're taking it to the next level, and then it can go further still. So I'll be interested to see like where we are in 10, 20 years time for female boxing. It'll be exciting, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. You obviously pointed out Jane Couch there, and again, the reality of it, if it wasn't for Jane Couch, girls like yourself might not be in the position you're in now.
Exactly. So massive thank you to her. It's just great. You need mavericks in the sport, and you need people who are going to like help push and progress things. So I think as women in sport, we all feel that the need to constantly push and like sell ourselves and get a bigger audience, and and try and get a little bit more equality with the guys. But yeah, no, it's getting there slowly.
My missus used to box pro.
Oh really?
Yeah, she did. So yeah, she.
Lucky you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm tiptoeing overnight not to wake her in the middle of the night, otherwise I get backhander. No, I don't really. No, I'm not going to put that out there. But yeah, she boxed 4 times as a pro predominantly in America.
Yeah.
And then she stopped doing it a few years ago, and I think I would promote her myself if she decided to come out of retirement. Yeah. About your weight, is she, Hannah?
Of course. She's welcome. Come join the crowd.
We've got the press conference today.
Yep.
Things will get said today at the press conference. I think we both know.
No doubt. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And obviously got Big Baby Miller on the card.
I saw he was taking part in the karaoke last night.
Terrible at karaoke. Absolutely shocking. He phoned me and said, "Dude, get down to the karaoke bar, man." It's not really his accent, but get down to the karaoke bar, man. I was like, all right, what's going on there? I'm about to sing a song. I went, all right then. So I literally rushed over to the thing. I was like, he's sitting there eating 25 chicken wings. And then he gets up with 2 of his teammates and they start singing Backstreet Boys.
I know, I couldn't believe that was the choice of song. I was like, are you serious?
But they were serious. They meant that. That wasn't a fucking
heartfelt.
They meant it. And it was so bad. But
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, you know. Get it out there, it was great.
Fair enough. Maybe Saturday night after your fight, we'll see you in there.
I'm not a karaoke fan, I must admit. We were in there earlier and I was thinking, better leave, go run.
But really, what I should have filmed was the people watching them, because they weren't really ready for that.
No.
They really weren't. We'll see. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, just as many people as you can, get on there, watch it. It's going to be a great fight, and I'm bringing those belts back to the UK. Unified middleweight champion of the world. It's coming back.
WBC is also on the line.
Oh yeah.
3 out of 4 is not bad. So
not bad at all.
No, not bad at all. Best of luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll catch up with you again.
That was great to chat to you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Cheers.
you, Hannah.